Hi, everybody. This is Coach Allison, and I'm back with week 34, Defy Aging. And this week we have two small circuits that are going to be happening simultaneously. If you have a pretty small group in your session, you can run one at a time, but that'll be up to your coach's discretion. But anyways, in each circuit, there's going to be 3 exercises. And so if you have a larger attendance in your session, you might have to double up at some of the exercises. So be prepared for that. Anyway, so a total of 6 exercises. You're going to run through each circuit for 3 rounds. They're going to be timed a little bit differently. Round one, they're going to get shorter and quicker as you go. So round one is going to be 40 seconds on, 35 seconds off. Round two is 35 seconds on, 30 off. And then round three is 30 seconds on, 25 seconds off. So everything drops 5 seconds with each new round. So, and then we have a little finisher at the end. That'll be just a little bit kind of different than normal. So we have a lot of stuff to demonstrate. So let's get right to it. Alrighty, so circuit A, station one. Of course, everyone's going to be starting at a different station, so it won't be station one for everybody. But anyways, a squat curl. So for the squat curl, I recommend holding the dumbbells palms turned in like this, like I am here, for the first part of the squat. And I'll show you why that is. I'm really in a small corner here. So you go down into your squat, keeping the palms turned in, and you could maybe kind of see why I recommend holding the weights this way already, which is with that first squat. Because when you go down to your squat, your arms kind of naturally have to open up just a little wide to accommodate, the width of your leg stance. So if you're holding your palms like this, kind of ready for the curl, you already had to kind of open up your arms wide just for the hand placement with the dumbbells. And then if you go into your squat, you have to kind of open up your arms even wider. And it's just really uncomfortable to do a squat with your arms out like this with weights. So anyway, that's why I definitely recommend holding your weights neutral grip, palms in, when you're going into your squat. And then when you come into your curl, let's turn it to a supine grip. Normal curl, palms facing you at the top of your curl. So I'll do a couple in a row. Squat, up, curl. Squat, up, curl. Do it nice and slow and controlled. So if you don't try to go too fast, the coordination gets funky and you might end up kind of, first of all, leaning too far forward in your squat like this, which we don't want. We always want to keep that chest up in a squat. And then you might kind of come up with the curl, like using momentum. So, because if you're coming up from the squat and curling at the same time, that can cause too much momentum with the squat. So separate it into the two movements. I like to say it kind of in my head, like I said it verbally, like out loud a moment ago. Squat, up, then curl. Squat, up, then curl. That helps to kind of break those movements into the two parts so nothing goes too fast. There's no momentum, nothing's flipping, flailing around. So anyway, that's the first exercise, squat curl. The next exercise is a medicine ball chest press. So I'm not going to lie my head all the way down, so this is going to look really stupid because I have a head, a ponytail in. Please lie your head all the way down. Yeah, so this is a bad demonstration. So we got these medicine balls. It's really straightforward. It's exactly what it sounds like. You can do a chest press motion just like you would normally do with dumbbells. Pressing up, releasing down, right over the chest. So you want to make sure you're not shrugging your shoulders and bringing the ball up to your face. Like, we don't want this. So keep those shoulders down. And the ball should be right over the chest, or kind of like right over the rib cage. And that's how you know you're not shrugging or activating the shoulders too much. We want the primary muscle to be the chest. Then you will feel some shoulders and arms as well. And it's really important that you're holding the outsides of the ball. See how I'm holding the outsides of the ball? And what that does is ensure that I'm pressing my hands, I'm pressing inward. I'm having to sort of do a little inward pressure, therefore kind of also activating other muscles in my pectoral, my chest, okay? What we don't want to do is just balance the ball on the hands. Like, look at my fingers. I'm not even like gripping or doing anything. I'm just simply balancing the ball. We don't want to do that. Instead, bring the hands to the outside of the ball, Or if I let go right now, I have a light ball, I grabbed a light ball on purpose. If I let go right now, ugh, that didn't feel good. I dropped it because I let go. Because we want to be creating that inward pressure to activate more chest muscles. So that's kind of the point of doing a medicine ball chest press. Now, even your heaviest medicine ball, I don't think any of the clubs have over a 20, maybe a 25-pound ball like this, I don't think. You might be thinking like, I can press more than that. I can press a 15 in each hand with dumbbells, which equals 30 pounds. So that's not the point. The overall total weight isn't really the point with the medicine ball chest press. It's the point is that we're holding the outsides of the ball. So it's a very different grip, activating different muscles. We have to be creating that inward pressure to hold the ball. All right, so a little bit different. Anyone not able to get to the floor, we're going to do that exact same exercise, but on a bench. You're used to this by now. Coaches will have an incline bench in the space, so you can recline back onto a little bit of an incline. If you can get down to flat, great. But the incline is nice for reclining back and not having to go all the way back down to a flat position. So bench or floor with the medicine ball. All right, next station, we're going to be using one of these like Silver Sneakers balls. I think all the gyms have something like this, maybe not from Silver Sneakers, maybe from your Vibrant physical therapist. I don't know, but I hope all the gyms have like one of these bouncy, squishy balls. If not, we'll have to get kind of creative with something. ISO glute bridge or hip bridge with an adduction. So, and that's what we're going to use this for. So the ISO hip bridge is this, lifting the hips and into a bridge and just holding it. But I guess you can place this ball between the knees first. Okay, we're going to lift into that bridge, hold it, and then squeeze. Can you see me doing reps with the ball? Yeah. Squeeze into that adduction. Adduction is pressing inward. Okay. And it's pretty straightforward, right? Anyone staying off the floor? Couple of options. If you're staying off the floor, for restriction reason, knees, you can't, for whatever reason, you can't get on the floor. A great alternative, it's going to work slightly different muscles, that's okay, is a wall sit hold. Well, ball sit's always holding, with the adduction. So holding a wall sit, squeezing with those reps, those adduction reps, okay? And another alternative, sorry if moving this camera around a lot is making anyone like dizzy or sick or anything. Another alternative is seated on a bench or a box. So we're taking out the isometric work on the legs, whether it be a bridge or a wall sit, and we're still getting the adduction. So seated adduction with the ball. So a couple of options there, but let's give that one a try. Okay, we're moving on to circuit B as I hold up two fingers. So 2B, whatever. Bosu, we haven't used this for a very long time. So I hope all the gyms have two Bosus in the case we need to double up at any stations. If they don't, again, I think most of the gyms have another sort of apparatus for balance, like one of those balance boards, which would be a good addition. So one person can use the Bosu, one person can use the balance board. But again, I think the gyms have two, and I don't know if all the sessions will have enough people in them to need two Bosus. But anyway, we're going to work on just balance. I say just like it's, easy. It's not. But we're not tossing in any arms or anything fancy along with it, is all I meant. This is what we're working on. So this will be near a wall or a rack to definitely place a hand on. And the key with Bosu balance work is that you're not trying to stay like completely still. That's not the goal. The goal is to allow your body to move. Like as you can see, my body's doing a little, don't purposely move though. Don't be purposely getting crazy. Stand there, but allow your body to have little fluctuations. And then the goal is to be able to learn to and improve upon just going with the flow, for lack of a better term, compensating for those little fluctuations. Okay. So you're not trying to be stiff as a board. Okay, but you're also not trying to create movements. Okay, so I'm just standing here talking to you, and as you can see, my body is just kind of naturally, because I'm on an unstable surface, I'm gonna move. Okay, little tip too, so if and when you are using assistance like a wall or a rack, I'm actually gonna bring myself over to a wall to get my point across. Don't be like 100% like leaning on it, because then you're really not giving yourself a chance to improve on the what's happening under your feet. So just like a little light touch, even like a fingertip. Sometimes it's like mental, it's psychological. So a fingertip will help. Same with the racks. Don't be holding a rack for like dear life. Don't be death gripping it, but just like grab the rack with 2 fingers, or even just like wrap a finger around it. That little kind of assistance, because otherwise, if you're holding on something for dear life, you're not working on the balance. So let's work on some Bosu balance this week. Okay, next exercise for circuit B is a seesaw bent over row. So we do lots of row variations. Like last week, we did the wide row. This one's going to go back to normal hand position, so the neutral hand position. But now we're going to do the seesaw pattern. So it's not just alternating, but it's alternating simultaneously. So we need that same body position. So pop the hips back, keeping your back nice and flat. So notice how I did that hinge like this, as opposed to just kind of slouching down. Very big difference, very important difference. I feel like the white wall behind me is a better background. Yep. Palms turned inward. They can have a slight like angle. See how mine have a slight angle? That's just more comfortable for my skeleton, my body shape. They don't have to be a perfect neutral like this. Because for me, that kind of turns my elbows at a weird angle. So for me, I like just a slight angle. It's fine. I'm going to start with one arm up. And then while that arm goes down, the other goes up. So that's the seesaw pattern. It doesn't have to be fast. I mention this a lot when we do seesaw pattern. I think subconsciously, we for some reason, with the simultaneous pattern, people think it has to be fast. It absolutely doesn't. It just means that they're moving simultaneously. So when one arm goes up, the other goes down. Okay, keep that body position always with that flat back. See, we're trying to make sure we don't accidentally start to like round the back like this and tuck the hips in. So pop the hips out, make sure your back is flat at all times. Don't shrug your shoulders so we're not shrugging. Shoulders are always down. Seesaw back row. All right, and the last one is a landmine Romanian deadlift. So this is brand new, I believe, for Defy. A landmine refers to the specific kind of barbell setup. So you can do a landmine almost anything. You can do a landmine shoulder press, a landmine rotation. We're going to do a landmine deadlift. I brought my camera into the weight room because that's where the setup is at this gym. But you can also kind of jerry-rig a landmine setup anywhere. So the coaches will have that prepared and ready. The landmine refers to the barbell being anchored at one point pretty much on the floor, and then the other end rests on the floor, okay? And I'm going to show you how we're going to incorporate that with a deadlift. Okay, so you pick up the end. Now think of this as being a kettlebell, for lack of a better comparison. It's really the same as having a single kettlebell you're holding in front of you like we would normally do with a kettlebell. You want to start with the end pretty much right down in front of you. So you're holding it right at the center of you, and it's going to fall straight down. And the great thing about the landmine is that it can't go anywhere. It's anchored at the floor, so all it can do is go straight down. So all the same notes as a regular kettlebell deadlift. You're going to kind of overlap your hands. You want to have your hands right on the end of the bar, right on the end. And I don't mean 2 inches up from the bar and from the end. I mean right at the end. Back flat, pop your hips back. The bar is just going to drop straight down because it can't go anywhere else. Now, if you're too far back like this, it's going to kind of pull your body in the wrong way. So remember, with a deadlift, you want everything to be going straight down, and this is kind of going forward. So like this would be too far forward. You want to start with it right at your body. So almost right at the groin. So I'll do a couple so you can see all those notes from normal deadlifts apply. Flat back, soft bend in the knees, sticking your hips back, body weight in my heels. Like, look, I can wiggle my toes. I always make that note with deadlifts. You should be able to wiggle your toes. All the same stuff. We just have a different tool. We just have this kind of weird barbell as opposed to a kettlebell or dumbbells. Okay? So it's going to be a different feel. Sometimes it creates a little sensation of slightly pulling you forward, very minimal. So it just has a little different feel. We're going to get used to a new tool this week, and I hope everyone acclimates to it pretty well and enjoys it. Okay, so a couple new things in our circuits this week. Now our finisher is going to be it's a little different. Normally we call it a team builder, and this week we're not could call it that, but we're not really working as a team, but sort of individually working as a team to get it done. Kind of a cardio finisher this week. Working at your own pace to get done 30 jumping jacks, 20 mountain climbers, and a tenth of a mile on a treadmill or an elliptical. So 0.10 on the distance thing. So kind of a 30, 20, 10 breakdown. Jumping jacks, everyone knows. Okay, full jacks or a step jack, side to side, 30 of those. Mountain climbers, you can take them on an incline like this. Mountain climbers you can jump them like this, or you can tap them like this. But either way, make sure your shoulders stay pretty much directly over your hands. So we don't want to come like way back here or anything. So 20 of those, or you can do them on the floor. It's a progression. If you feel ready for that, you can take them to the floor. 20 of those, and then over to the cardio machines, and a 0.10 on the treadmill or elliptical goes relatively quick. It'll be anywhere from, like, depending how fast you are, like a minute to 3 minutes. Okay, but it does have to be elliptical or treadmill only. The rower or the spin bike or anything like that it won't be fast. It'll be too quick for that distance. So elliptical or treadmill only, and that's our cardio finisher this week. Okay, everybody, I hope you enjoy week 34 with the 2 circuits, and I'll see you back next week.